Yeah, I have multiple myeloma, which is a bone marrow cancer. There's no cure for it. They just try to hold it in check. But I thought I would like to prolong my remission times, and if it was possible, and not get into their treatment. So I felt very effective by my numbers. It pulled them down to about 50%. My cancer numbers, what they were beforehand. And that lasted for 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and then it started to creep back up. I think the cancer cells can tolerate the heat of the ones then start to generate. But at least it really gave me a lot longer remission times. So I was thankful for that. Walter Veith had a comment that I thought was well worth thinking about. He said, if the cancer's going to kill you in 6 months, and your healthful living and your diet and your protocols that you're working on would take 9 months to kick in, you might want to consider chemo, because it would keep you alive. So I think it depends on where you are in your health and the issues there as to, it's not a cure-all, but if it prolongs your healthy part of your section of your treatment there, I think it's well worth it.
We will be talking about the protocol for a fever bath, and the information that we gathered was from Weinar and from Mercy Ballard, RN. The fever bath is used to stimulate the immune system. We have one of the first things you do is you pray with the patient, and it's done. You can do it 3 days a week, once a day, and then you break for 3 weeks, and then you can resume the treatments again. They also talk about doing a fast and being sure that you exercise, walk 2 to 3 miles a day or more, at least one hour before the bath. Don't do it closer to the bath. You need a bathing suit, a towel, a bathrobe, as well as a hand towel and a washcloth. You need a 5-gallon bucket with ice water, a pitcher for pouring the water. You want a thermometer, and you will be taking the patient's temperature very regularly because you want to get it up to 102 degrees and maintain that for 20 minutes. If you're able to, you're monitoring the patient, and you're wrapping a towel around their head like a turban and keeping that wet continually and cool. And the patient will tell you if they need more, but you don't have to wait till the patient tells you either. You want to make sure the patient's well hydrated before the bath. The bath temperature should be 111 degrees Fahrenheit. For younger or elderly people, you can try 105 degrees. You just see how the patient is tolerating that. You want them to be submerged up to the base of their neck. You'll also check their pulse regularly. If your pulse begins to race, you put the cold towel over the shoulder and over the heart area. And if the patient's starting to feel dizzy, you may want to end the bath by cooling down with cool or cold water. And they can take a cold shower after this. What we used was a hot tub for getting the correct temperature. I don't know that most are regulated so they can go up that high, but we have a friend who was able to do that for us. Would you like to?
I think it's probably good to be careful about how warm you have the tub the first time. I was nauseated, very nauseated for the first time. So I think if you work up to it, it's probably a good idea. You also feel like you've had a fever. You feel weak, and so it's you want to have somebody close to you as you're walking to the cold shower. You come out of that pretty quickly, and again, like Becky presented, need a rest for at least an hour afterwards. And you feel like you need it, you're exhausted. But I understand the benefit is not there unless you rest. The turban, as you call it, the towel around your head, we would fill a pitcher full of ice and then put water in it. And initially, that water feels cold, but when you reach, I would say 102, that water no longer feels cold. It's you appreciate it, that your body gets up in temperature. And as far as the thermometer, I think it's a good idea to get the rapid read so you get a quick response, because your body can really take off in the temperature. As you get up high there, it'll just ramp up quickly. I don't think I was ever able to make the 20 minutes after I was 102. It was too much. But that's what they say is the best. But it's kind of up to the individual how much you can tolerate.